I don't believe in do's and don'ts. First, I think put out on paper what's in my heart. I always believe that if my heart is happy and I know that I'm doing the right thing, I can please my audience. I know what I have to get across.
So many people told me मुझे डर लग रहा था. What ये बेटा क्या करेगा? It's the same thing will happen in this Amar Boss. What's going to happen between these
I
two?
don't know how this chemistry was created and how it just whether it always existed, but it is definitely there and very palpable that we have the same thoughts.
That corporate social responsibility, that word, the responsibility, the four types of CSR is there.
Correct.
So that need to be changed. Hi, this is Shiva Prasad Mukherjee.
Hi, this is Nandita Roy, and you're watching me on IWM Buzz.
It's fantastic and perfect segue that you mentioned Dr. Beej and Bahuruppi, because those are the films where the director duo that you guys are, you managed to showcase your versatility as filmmakers as well. Because as you mentioned that you were mostly known for your intimate dramas, which are very content driven. Not that these films aren't, but they're usually talked about more about the scale and the action and everything. But my question is that as a director duo, now that you've done so many films, is there ever an itch, or is that ever an a factor that you feel that okay, I want to make this big commercial film, commercial film that probably is easier to land, so to speak, on the pan status? Has there ever been any of those things?
I want to make a period film, definitely. That is one of my deep wishes. But let's see if we can do it. We might probably attempt it someday when we have enough money to do it, because it all depends on how much return we get from the market, from the other films, so that we can attempt larger and bigger films.
Super. And of course, coming to the two of you, it all started with Iche, as filmmakers. I find it very fascinating that I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong in my own thing, that there are barely director duos existent, right? Everybody's either a solo director or, they were a director duo once, they're not really working together. It's fantastic that not just the two of you managed to, continue this working relationship, and it's probably just getting better for the both of you. How do you look back at Iche? Because, there probably there was this innocence where you're making the first film, right? As filmmakers, you're much more malleable, you're much more accepting towards things. Now, 14 years later, you still have a big film coming up. How have the two of you evolved as filmmakers for each other as well?
I think that we have evolved together.
Hmm.
Whatever we have done together and evolving as filmmakers also has been together, because I don't know how this chemistry was created and how it just whether it always existed, but it is definitely there and very palpable that we have the same thoughts. It's uncanny at times because there are people who go into another room and ask a question, and Shibu gives an answer, and they come back to me and repeat the same question, and I give the same answer, and we look at each other. What happened? How did this
Super.
thing happen?
Same goes with you. I mean, if you take the interview separately,
Yeah.
now
Same.
same all the questions.
Lovely. Lovely.
So this has been, we have had this kind of a chemistry for a pretty long time, and now I think we are very good at it. I mean, now we know exactly, even we don't have to say anything to each other. Now we spend time in silences because I know what he wants to say and he knows what I want to say. So that's wonderful. And that is why we don't have creative differences, because if we have something, we discuss it out.
Yeah.
And we don't argue with each other because sometimes he respects my wish, probably because I'm the older person in this companionship, or I respect his wishes because he's extremely dynamic and he's more worldly than I am. I I I'm still in a cocoon, I feel, but not he. He does. He goes everywhere. He is the new generation. So, and I love listening to these young people who come up with such fantastic ideas. So, I respect his wishes just as he respect mine. And the most beautiful thing about our film is that you get both perspectives. You get a lady's perspective, a woman's perspective, and you get a man's perspective.
True.
So when you direct solo, the woman is either putting in her perspective of the story, or a man is putting in his perspective of the story. But when we make a film, you get to see both perspectives. So when he tells me something, I said, "Oh, that is what a man wants, which I
Yeah.
haven't, which is missing in my story." Okay, and then when I tell him that emotional scenes should be handled like this. The woman
Mm.
this is what a woman thinks, and then he looks, "Oh, this is how a woman thinks."
Super.
So that's how we connect with each other. I mean, the film is created together, and I think, have done our best till now.
Super. Super. Anything you'd like to add, Shubhuta?
No, it's same.
As you mentioned, we are on the same
Same,
wavelength,
same,
so
same, same.
that makes sense. Fantastic, and again, that is also a great segue to my next question, because as I mentioned, intimate family dramas, especially that of a mother-son, or father-son, or whatever, any relationship, the most pure form of a relationship is a parent and child. There can not be anything purer than that. When you create that, there must be some do's and don'ts in your head, right? Because as you mentioned, even that as a genre has been done so many times, where you want to stand out and still tell a story with all your honesty and everything. What are the kinds of do's and don'ts when you're writing and when you're directing?
I don't believe in do's and don'ts. First, I think put out on paper what's in my heart.
Hmm.
I always believe that if my heart is happy and I know that I'm doing the right thing, I can please my audience. I know what I have to get across, because that is exactly what I do. What's in my heart? I have to tell the story that's in my heart. And my first examiner is Shibu. So before I present it to him, I do get tense, and I keep on looking at his face whether he's going to say yes or no. But then when he looks up and he gives me a smile, and I know it's a winner. So that is important for me uh, while writing a story.
Yeah.
And I also believe that uh, if both, come together, assimilate on ideas, so I have experienced, he has his youth. And this is also very important for today's generation, because I can tell things which the youth may not have seen, may not know.
Yeah.
And he tells me his perspective of where the youth is going, what they want to know,
Correct.
what where are they, where our film can lead them to, make them think, which is so important. So we try to do that.
Lovely. Anything like that, Shubhata?
Uh, I have only one thing is that when we say, how will you define a series like Adolescence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a family drama?
You can say so, but it's also a crime thriller. It's also suspense. It's everything.
This is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that the moment we deal with family,
Hmm.
we call it a family drama. What will you say about a film like The Great Indian Kitchen?
Hmm.
Is it a
Yeah.
family drama?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also a thriller.
It's
You
also a
don't know
thriller.
what's going to happen.
Correct.
It is same when we made Iche.
Hmm.
For us, Iche is a perfect thriller.
Yeah.
So you don't need blood.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't need
yeah.
anything.
True. True. Agreed.
When I watched Adolescence, I said, my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Is the boy is going to hit that interviewer?
Yeah. 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 In the
So it's
third
the same
episode. Yeah.
thing. When Iche happened, so many people told me मुझे डर लग रहा था.
Hmm.
What ये बेटा क्या करेगा? It's the same thing will happen in this Amar boss.
Hmm.
What's going to happen between these
Mother and
two?
son.
Yeah.
Will there be a fight?
Correct.
What will happen? See, the most important, the family is very, very important. It's the most important factor right now for us. After COVID,
Yeah.
we don't know whether next day we are alive or not.
True.
So it is very, very important that you need your near ones, your dear ones together. And the definition of corporate culture, ये change होना चाहिए.
Hmm.
When you are asking for 70 hours of work culture, then the responsibility of corporate, ये change होना चाहिए.
Hmm.
The social, the CSR, that corporate social responsibility, that word, the responsibility, because 4 types of CSR is there.
Correct.
So that need to be changed. क्या है वो? If you don't understand the word, what is there within your employee's heart, if you
Yeah.
don't listen to them. Every day the layoffs are happening, the recession is there, so you
Right.
don't know what is going to happen next day, what's going to happen. So every day that stress is there. So I think Amar Boss is all about that. So when you are making a film like this, I think these films are very, very important.
Hmm.
For me, Dangal for me is a father daughter film.
Hmm.
It's not a drama.
Yeah.
For me, when father and daughter were fighting, that moment मुझे डर लग रहा था.
Hmm. Hmm.
That unpredictability should be there.
True. Fabulous. That's a lovely take to things. And on a parting note, there are projects when we do something. There are. I'm not. Every project is a baby for a filmmaker. Every project
Yes.
is a baby.
Yes.
You give in your everything, and you want. Obviously, everybody wants their project to work, but obviously, it's not in our hands. At the end of the day, something's gonna work. Something's not gonna work, and it's not just box office. It's about the audience love in general, right?
Yes.
So, what are the kind of projects for your own, the ones that you've done so far, not just as filmmakers but otherwise as well, which you feel that probably should have gotten more due than they did, and you hope that some sort of a re-release trend pops up in Bengali cinema as well, and you get that out there once again.
I think accident, because at that point of time we were not producers,
Hmm.
and I think the lesson of accident, that then we learned, that then we understand that if you don't become a producer, if you don't become distributor, if you don't distribute your own film, if you don't market your own film, if you don't produce your own film, you won't do justice to your own film.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, because today it is still the same thing. आज एक accident होता है तो उसके बाद, I mean, it is whose fault? Is the bus driver's fault? It is the pedestrians, uska, it's his fault or
Right.
her fault, or whether the traffic lights, and whether uh, I mean, suppose the accident हुआ and आप middle of the road accident हुआ,
Hmm.
कौन सा थाने के अंदर आएगा वो?
Yeah, jurisdiction कौन सा
हाँ,
आएगा?
बस वहां से कहानी चालू होता है.
Right.
तो आज भी वो रेलेवेंट है.
Super. And I think, from the looks of it, I think Shivada has already said for a good suspense thriller, cooking on his mind. And I think that you should be on it, I would believe.
Thank you.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to watch the film.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I think everybody, kid you not, if these such films are the need of the hour, in all the madness that's going on otherwise, and the kind of films we keep watching, such films are just a welcome change for them, but otherwise the most welcome thing otherwise. So thank you so much. I wish you all the best,
Thank you
and
very
I
much.
hope it does great wonders.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.